and welcome to the Rift Recap. And a lot has happened over the last few weeks for North America competitive. And do I say we have a new number one? Well, that and more today on the show. And we have a special guest interview with beginnings of Sentinels, who just took down second place tonight, and we'll talk about that as well. Just so you know, the interview did take place a few weeks ago, but most of the stuff that we had talked about is still relevant today. So it'll be interesting to see how these natural storylines will build throughout the season. But without further ado, let's get into the first topic of the show.
Rest cannot take part in this Baron fight. Dead for 30 seconds. Immortals have no way into this pit, but that's not going to stop them from trying.
That's Baron. She's going to have to flash and steal this. Molly diving in. She's going for it. Doesn't get to steal Nunu. Too hard to take it away from. Sentinels are going to throw two players away almost, as MTS does at least get a kill, but Hoon's got the double on the board for the triple there onto beginnings. As another kill happens in IMT. They get the Baron and an ace to boot. Expose Rest. The arrow's good, but it's not going to be enough, and he knows that IMT are going to keep their win rate at Majors alive. It was close, but it was not enough. Immortals are your Major 2 champions.
All right, guys, as you can see, Immortals are the champions of Major 2 as they take down Sentinels, and we look at the road and how they got there. So as you can see, they had to go through the top bracket there as the number 1 seed. They took out Cloud9, sent them to the lower bracket, and then they themselves got sent to the lower bracket by Sentinels, and they had to claw their way back up, beat Enemy, and then return to the finals and reverse sweep Sentinels to get the win there. Very, very impressive by Immortals there. One thing I do want to touch on, though, is if you guys don't notice, though, one of the best teams in NA has been struggling, and that is Tribe Gaming, and they are... they're not even like top 3 anymore right now, I believe. That's crazy to think for me, specifically to think like I have them as my number 1 pick for NA going into the preseason, and they are definitely struggling right now, but I think everyone else is also getting better. So that's definitely something we're going to talk about later. So guys, if you don't know how this is going to work right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut to an interview that I did with beginnings. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Thanks for watching the Rift Recap.
You know, actually, I think there are some pro players who might argue right now that Tribe is even 4. But, yeah, it is kind of shocking.
So, everybody's today in the very first Season 1 Rift Recap, Episode 1, revamped, all that, great stuff, new graphics. We have a special guest for you. It is Beginnings on the line. Say what's up to everyone.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Wait, I feel so honored, by the way, to be the first. That's like a special spot to hold. Pretty cool.
You are number 1, my friend. So yeah, so the last time we had talked was for a previous podcast I did called The Climb. And it was just basically, for people to get to know you and what your future was going to be. And it happened to be Wild Rift. So go ahead and, for people who may not know you, I'm sure everyone does. But in case they don't know you, go ahead and kind of walk us back through your journey from, initial thoughts with Wild Rift to where you are now.
All right, sure. So yeah, my name is Beginnings or Jacob. Whichever people prefer. I don't really mind either way. Yeah, I first started playing like Wild Rift before it was released in NA. I played in both SEA and in EU. But at the time, I was actually still working a full-time job outside of that. And that full-time job actually made me think a lot about whether or not I could go pro, and how will I continue to balance my time, and will I be able to put in enough effort to play at the level that is acceptable for me and things like that. But thankfully, after NA Wild Rift was released, I was able to sign with Sentinels, and so things have been pretty good in that regard anyways.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, you literally went from saying I just want to be a content creator and see what happens, to jumping to one of the, I'd say one of the most well-known orgs, and from recent, especially through other Riot games, and that's a big
Mhm.
deal, you know. And congratulations to you. You guys definitely made a splash last year in the I guess they're calling it season 0. Go ahead and talk about like your team, who's on your team, and
Mhm.
then like how do you guys feel like you did in season 0, and kind of look it back at that and see kind of where you guys are now, and kind of project how you feel like this year is going to go.
Yeah, sure. So season 0 was a rough start, not gonna lie. So our roster now has actually changed since season 0. Originally, it was um, MTS top lane, and in the jungle is Sheesh, and in mid lane,
Sheesh.
back in Sheesh, back in season 0, we had Michael Udall as our mid laner, and Rest as AD carry, and myself as support, obviously.
Hmm.
So yeah, season 0, it was a disappointment. Not gonna lie. We didn't perform at the level that we thought we were going to at all. Not even just in the regionals, really, but in the qualifiers leading up to the regionals, we were dissatisfied with our performance. And the regionals was really just, I think, a culmination of a lot of like dissatisfaction, and we kind of, do I put this out there? We kind of choked, you know. We felt that pressure that was on us, to be, you know, one of the top teams,
Hmm.
and I think that pressure got to us in a lot of ways. So yeah, we ended up finishing 8th in the regionals, which
Hmm.
was a shock to everyone involved,
Hmm.
both team and org, and I think in the scene as well.
I would say
Um,
yes, in the whole scene.
yeah, yeah, uh, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have said that we were an 8th place team going into that, uh, but you know, sometimes you just don't perform when you need to, right?
Hmm.
When the occasion is there, and so yeah, we ended up being an 8th place team, and so we didn't let that defeat us, though.
That's good. That's good.
In Yeah, I'm actually like so grateful and thankful for the team that I have like wandered into, because everyone is so professional,
Hmm.
and not only that, but like you can tell that they still care about everyone involved,
Hmm.
even though our main goal is still to be as good as possible. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
uh, it is easily the best team environment that I have been in, like, ever as a player.
that's saying a
So,
lot there.
yeah, yeah, it is genuinely the best team environment I've ever been in. And so I think that that has had a huge impact on our progress as a team. And the day we lost regionals, actually, we had a 3-hour meeting in person, because the finals were supposed to be in Denver, but our organization flew us to LA and got us an Airbnb and
I
stuff.
mean, that's pretty badass.
Yeah, it was badass for sure. They got us like hella DoorDash credits and stuff too.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
it was a wild week. Yeah,
Oh, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. It was a
yeah,
wild
not
week.
but actually sponsored. But yeah, so that night we had like this 3-hour long meeting where we talked about a lot of things. But the first thing that came out actually was Michael telling us that he wanted to retire as a player. And he has his own reasons for all that, and I'm not going to like speak to any of it, but it kind of, I think, like rocked all of us a little bit. Um, I don't think anyone really expected it. And so yeah, it was really bad. I mean, not really bad. It was really sad more than
Hmm.
anything.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. I mean,
losing
He's
Yeah,
like
go ahead.
he was kind of like one of the pillar, like older, like one of the mentors that you guys could have had on the team. And
Mhm.
ironically, like I had just filmed him come into my house, and like I did an interview about him and like his journey to going to mobile, coming from PC. And
Mhm.
then like as I was getting ready to post things, he's like, "Yeah, I'm not going to be on the team anymore." And I was like, "Well, it's up to you, you know, if you want me to still release it and stuff." So I still have that interview, and I'll probably still release it, but it caught
Mhm.
me off guard, really off guard as well. So I
Mhm.
can't even imagine how it hit you guys. Anyway, sorry about that. Go ahead and continue.
No, you're good. Um, damn, that's rough. So yeah, it definitely like um, it put a new goal in our minds. Like, well, more so than we have to fix our problems as a team, we have to find a new mid laner, and then
Mhm.
figure out what our problems as a team are. Then, and then continue to
Mhm.
fix them.
Champion
Uh,
pools, all that stuff changes.
yeah, yeah. And honestly, more than anything, I was just worried about like finding a player that fit with us. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like we weren't going to have this like really nice team environment and then like have some like toxic kid come in and like really shit on
Mhm.
everything, you know?
Yeah.
I was pretty worried about that. But actually we had two players in mind like almost from the start. And Mali like was kind of our first choice. And when things first started with him, like, you know, there wasn't an immediate like improvement. You know, you can't really expect that. In
Yeah.
fact, it was definitely like for a minute we were not quite performing. But dude, we took off season like we put our nose to the wait. What is that saying? To the grindstone?
No,
Is that what
nose to
it
the
is?
grindstone. Yeah, nose to the grindstone.
Whoops. But yeah, we really put our nose to the grindstone. Like every single one of us. And especially Pierce, dude. I cannot sing praise for Pierce enough. Like, it is such a coach gap in the NA scene. It is not even funny. Pierce has done so much to help us grow as players and as a team and as people, even to some degree.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's just been crazy. Like, we've made an insane amount of progress.
I mean, and you mentioned something
Mhm.
that. So first off, you guys did qualify to go to the regional, so that in its own is a massive accomplishment, in my opinion. From someone watching from afar, that's first off, you guys still were the best in North America. And then to go through something like that and experience it, sometimes you have to remember those and pull from that later. So like for season 1, you know, you guys have a lot of you have first off, you have nothing to lose, everything to gain, and now you can pull from those moments in your guys' comms, like in between
Mhm.
games, like big moments, like remember what it feels like to lose, like, and you don't want to feel that again. Whereas unfortunately and fortunately for Tribe, like they've been on top. So the only
Mhm.
place they can go is down, you know, and everyone else is going to still be chasing after them. Which we'll get to it later. But I feel like the top echelon is not what we saw last year. I think it's actually getting a lot closer, in my opinion. But I mean, we can talk about that in a little bit here. Right now, I want to talk about what's your guys' plans right now for the current season. What have
Mhm.
you guys played in, and then how are you liking 3.0 and 3.1a patches?
Yeah, so our plans for this season. Dude, we are going to Worlds. Like,
Yes, I liked the
uh,
confidence.
yeah. Um, there's very little doubt in my mind at this point, actually, that we are going to make it to Worlds. So, if this, you know, releases sometime soon, I hope people call me on it.
You got to speak
Because
it into existence.
for sure, we're manifesting out
Hmm.
here.
And if you don't even believe in yourself, no one else is going to believe in yourself. So you got to start there at least.
Very true. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that's been a lot of our progress as a team is finding our confidence, especially after such a rough start. It was harder, I think, for some more than others. Like myself, it was pretty hard for me. But now that we are like performing both in and out of scrims, it is a lot easier for us to just, like play as players and be assertive.
Yep.
Yeah. The patch. Let's talk about this patch.
Yes, the T. Let's get the T out.
Dude, so this patch, I'm calling it right now. I think Morgana support is going to start becoming more prevalent because of the fact that they nerfed her wave clear.
In the jungle, yeah.
Yeah, and so I think with her also getting an armor buff, so she's like a little bit more tanky, I think she's going to become so strong because not only does she have like good wave clear, which is really nice for establishing prio for early scuttles or just for preventing being dove, I think she just provides a lot of utility for the team as well. Like, honestly, I was telling my coach earlier today, I think she might become one of the best supports for early scuttle fights because a flash binding is almost always a kill.
Always a kill.
Yeah. Outside of that, it's been really, 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 really nice to see the nerfs to Jace and Camille and Set. That makes my life so much simpler as a support player. I hate those champions.
Yes, but the one that I thought was interesting was that they and usually when you just fine tune a champ, like Akali is always a perfect example on the PC. Like it either just really makes them overpowered or it just cancels them out. Katarina got the buff on, I believe, her ulti there, and that she's already scary now to me. Like I'm like, just don't want Zed, don't want Katarina. And her resets are just the scariest thing ever. But also the sickest things to see it. So it'll be interesting to see if what champions get moved around. There's a lot of flex picks right now, especially since you mentioned like Morgana going into the support or the duo lane. And I think you'll see more I guess range bot lanes instead of the melee with the AD. I think the enchanter / like mage bottom is gonna be here, and I don't know. I like it. For me, at least personally, I like it. So it'll be interesting to see what at least the NA side does with the comps. And I've been watching some of like the fight nights and stuff like that in some of the early tournaments for NA. So it'll be interesting to see who adapts first and comes up with that first nice strategy. Obviously, you can't give anything away because we wouldn't want you to do that. But
yeah, I can't scrim leak too much. Sorry.
Yes.
Morgana support is the biggest one I'll give you, I think.
And then I think in 3.1 you have Karma, and then also top laner Shen. I believe that they're coming out as well. Some more options there.
Yeah.
And then for the NA comp scene, obviously you guys finished the year at the bottom. You guys had a nice conversation, enlighten each other. And the best part about that you said is you guys have good synergy. And I like how you said you'd rather have someone that you guys can get along with and have the same, I guess, vision than a super talented but toxic player. I think that you guys are definitely building a long-term team and family overall. So that's definitely what you want. So with that being said, you guys kind of came out the gates with the Fight Night Rifts. And week 4, what happened there?
So like I said at the beginning, like Mally is I cannot even verbalize how good of a player Mally is, but growing pains, right? Like we're all getting used to each other. Maybe our ideals around how a game should be played didn't necessarily align as much in the beginning as they do now. Things like that, right? It takes time to like break in your shoes. I can't think of any more analogies.
That's a perfect analogy.
Yeah, and now our sneakers are very nicely broken in. Going for morning jogs, we're like, we're just really cooperative.
And that's
the best word.
And that's good. I mean, so you guys basically in week 4, what does it see? It looks like you guys beat Infinity, lost to Cloud9, beat, I believe, Suzuku. Is that how you say it? And then won
something like that,
3-1 over C9. Now, with that being said, first off, how did it feel?
It was really nice. It's actually not every day where you play like those types of tournaments where it's like a round robin sort of thing where you just play even if you lose and then there's a finals. So like losing to C9 initially was a little rough, but we were, I think, almost immediately able to recognize like where we faltered. And so we went, I think after we lost to C9, we played against the SCK. I'm not even going to try to pronounce what their name is. And we beat them pretty handedly, I believe. And so we go into our series with C9, and we were confident. We were like, oh yeah, we got this. And then we lost the first game. And we were like, wait a second, guys. Like, we need to recenter. Like, obviously something isn't going the way it should be. Like, we know that we are more than capable of beating this team. We just did it like, 3 days ago or something like that. And so we really like pulled ourselves up by the bootstraps and like brought it back together. We were very decisive in our calls. We were very clean and assertive in our communications. And we just got back into our like well-oiled machine sort of mindsets where it was just all about like what are the jobs that we need to do and how can we assist each other in accomplishing these jobs.
And I'm sure the previous experience of losing made it easy for you guys to be like, you know what, let's put that behind us and let's refocus. We have many games to go, and I'm sure the Pierce J obviously probably helped out a lot as well. I'm sure he has so many intangibles that you can't even bring to light, because what a coach can do not only on a professional level but a personal level is stuff that's invaluable in my opinion. So good job to you guys. And so that brings me to kind of like my next thing, how with the NA scene ending last year, everyone's hands down running away with the number one was Tribe. And then below Tribe, you had a little group of teams, which I called the org teams, or the org teams, or the one team looking for an org, which was always going to be Cloud9, Sentinels, Enemy, and Immortals. But what I think has changed, I think the gap isn't as far anymore, especially with the roster changes. Now players are on switching teams and they got valuable info and stuff like that you can use and share. But I do think that, the competition is getting better and there's more teams as well. Where do you feel like you guys are? If you had to do like a power rankings top 5, go.
All right. 1 is Immortals. Right now. I think Immortals is number 1 anyways. Then us, then Tribe probably, and then C9, and then Enemy in my head.
Wow, you definitely with the hot take there. I like it though. I like it though, because you said you have confidence. You said you guys are gonna go to Worlds, so you're only speaking with what you know, obviously from your guys' scrims and stuff, and just playing against these other top teams. So that's exciting to see, because I can't wait to like get other players on here, and maybe that will be. Because I've been trying to think of a way to start my initial power rankings, and I didn't want it to go based off of last year's results. I wanted it to be something random, and then how am I gonna adjust each week? I think I'll just start with yours. The beginnings power ranking you just gave me there will be the first power rankings that we'll have. And you know what? What if it just, what if you just know more than I do and it's actually right? Because I think people are gonna shit when they hear like Tribe is 3. Like no way, So that's very exciting to see.
Actually, I think there are some pro players who might argue right now that Tribe is even 4. But yeah, it is kind of shocking. Yeah. I think roster swaps have had a lot of impact on what like the current rankings are. Mm-hmm. And I think there will be some shuffling as people get more used to their new rosters and stuff. But yeah. Wow. I think Tribe is in a little bit of a rough spot right now.
Man, I might use that as like a clickbaity something, whatever. That's definitely gonna be, I don't know, maybe the title will say like Beginnings said that Tribe was power ranked at 4 or something crazy like that.
Yeah, get those clicks, please.
What scares me now, because if Tribe is 4, they were our hope internationally. Mm-hmm. Do you think, I mean, obviously we don't know right now, but do you think from the Horizon Cup is NA that much farther behind the rest of the world when it comes to the competitive scene?
So you would think that, right? After Horizon. Probably is gonna be my answer. I'm gonna be a little non-committal here. Yeah, probably. But I also think that gap is very quickly closing and has been very quickly closing for the last few months, right? Mm-hmm. Because I don't think Tribe has really gotten a whole lot worse as a team. I think more so what you've just been saying, right? That gap has closed tremendously. Mm-hmm. So, I think we're making our progress.
And they had incredible synergy from prior, so the only thing that could have happened, in my opinion, is, like I said, like only the rest of the teams could come up, because now they're constantly playing. You guys are constantly playing against the quote unquote best team, and you're only going to get better that way. Whereas Tribe, unfortunately, unless they're playing, PC teams too, like who do they really practice against? So it's definitely a tough place to be when you're at the top. Everyone wants to be there, but it is definitely tough to be at the top. So that's
speaking of being top. I will also say another reason why I don't think NA is that far behind is because we scrim South American teams fairly often, and it has probably been like 3 weeks. I don't know. It's been a while since we've dropped a game against them. So
wow.
Yeah, it's been a while. And at that, like even further, I don't think they've ever won a majority of the matches in a scrim, right? It's always like us dropping a game to them. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Okay. Yes. I don't want NA to be at the bottom. All right. That's I'm not going to start sipping the hopium yet, but I just bare minimum, I don't want us to be last this year at the first one, the last one kind of didn't even count technically, I guess. So
yeah, it wasn't even Worlds.
It was season 0, dog. Like, I mean, yeah, everyone even wants to win season 1.
This isn't the World Cup. This isn't Worlds. It's the Horizon Cup. It's different. Mm-hmm. So
absolutely. So we're going to get into a little fun segment. I'm trying to think of fun things to do on here that kind of, separate me, but also basically steal the great ideas that the LCS has already done. So welcome to now. We're starting my new segment called the Rift Marketplace, where you buy and sell fake stocks in hopes that you're going to make it rich in the NA scene. And since you're my first guest, I guess you'll have an unlimited amount of, we'll call them legacy stocks or whatever for now. So the first topic is are you buying or selling? Well, I guess I already know this, but are you buying or selling that Tribe will reign as Supreme Kings of NA in Season 1? I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say you're probably selling that stock.
Yeah, I'm definitely selling that stock ASAP.
Okay, selling the stock ASAP. You don't want to hold, they say always hold and it'll go back up.
That's some copium right there. I mean, yeah, like I said, I don't think that they're bad, but I don't think that they will reign as supreme kings at all.
Okay.
No
Okay.
shade, but
Okay. All right. So initially, before we got on the call, I had in my head, and I can't go back now. Now that you've told me all this stuff, I was buying the tribe stock, so I might be screwed at the end of the year. So right now, I have the tribe stocks, and then so second question, buy or sell the NA is better than what we showed at the Horizon Cup, and I before was gonna say. I think that I'm gonna buy. I think we are definitely way better than what we showed. And I'm not saying the tribe did bad. I'm just thinking there was probably a whole lot of circumstances and intangibles there that we can't really account for. That probably, I'll just say influence how it went. So
phone game, truly.
yes, yes, exactly, 100%. So I'm buying two stocks, 2 million stocks on the first two, saying yes, we're going to be better. And then the last one, super important for you, obviously. If you're getting new into the Rift marketplace and you want to get some legacy stocks here, would you invest in Immortals or Sentinels?
Ooh, I can't betray my team. Of course, I would invest in Sentinels, ourselves, definitely.
But
I don't think Immortals would be a bad
the
investment.
Immortal stock is rising and potentially the number one stock. So, I mean,
Yeah.
you can't get both because that just would be a fair world, and the world isn't fair. So, I'm gonna probably go with the. Ooh, I don't know. You know what? I might have to wait a week on this one and see which stock I want to buy. But I got. You know what? This is right now. I'll buy the Sentinel stock. I'll buy the Sentinel stock. So I got stock. So basically, I'm screwing myself. I got stock. The tribe's still going to be one, but I got stock that I think the Sentinels is the rising star. And either way, I still think NA is going to do better than they did at the Horizon Cup. So I'm basically just starting to push my chips out there and just starting to sip on the hopium. So,
I mean, you're getting into the game early, though, right? So,
you're right. I'm an early adopter.
Figuring out the landscape.
Yes, I'm an early adopter of the legacy currency. So, anyways, it's been so much fun having you on here. I love to have you on whenever you want to come on. Anything you want to say to your fans out there, to your org or anything like that, go ahead and give those shout outs now.
Shout out to Pierce. It's like easily, he is definitely one of the biggest reasons why we took that turnaround from 8th to 2nd and to hopefully Worlds. But yeah, shout out Pierce. Shout out to all my teammates who put in so much time and effort into improving. And shout out to Immortals for being really good and helping us improve, almost in tandem with them. And yeah, I think shout out Sentinels for signing us too.
Yes, there you go. Perfect. I was like, don't forget the Sentinels there. For me, I'm going to say shout out to everybody out there watching. I hope you guys learned something from this. If you don't take anything back, just learn that he said that Tribe is number 4, first off. And then shout out to Mobile Gaming Corps. They provide great peripherals and products for mobile gaming. So make sure you check them out. I am Legacy, and this is Beginnings, and this has been the first episode of Wild Rift Recap Season 1, presented by Legacy Apex. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you follow everybody. I'll have the links in the description, the Twitters, and all that fun stuff. Like and subscribe, fun stuff. Thank you for watching. Peace!
Nice.